everyone, happy Thursday. Hope that it's almost time for you to pour yourself a glass of wine if you haven't already. So today CJ is in San Francisco, but we wanted to make sure to still keep up with our Thursday live date. So today we're going to talk about being consistent and kind of some tips for being consistent in your blog. This one will be a little shorter. We're going to go to me for 10 minutes-ish and then to CJ. And so that's how we're going to stay consistent while CJ is on vacay. So the question I'm going to answer is, what are some tips for staying consistent in your content? So of course I have a list for you, and it's a really easy 2-step process. The first step is to decide what you're going to post, and then the second step is to post it. So obviously that's pretty obvious. As far as staying consistent, you need to have that content calendar, that schedule for when you're going to post everything and what you're going to post. And then you obviously need to follow through with the plan and post it, because that's how you stay consistent. So consistency without this sort of plan is possible, but it's really hard. Like if you just have kind of a framework, like I'm going to post Tuesday mornings at 9, that's probably possible. But as far as like staying really consistent as to let your followers know kind of the heartbeat of your blog or social media, and that kind of means when they know to check back on your blog for new content, or when they know like on Tuesday you post a cocktail recipe, drink, whatever, so they know like when to visit your blog. So that's why consistency is important, not just so that you like don't go dark for weeks on end and post nothing, and then like when you come back online post like 4 times in a row. Your audience isn't really going to be used to that, and so they're not going to know to go to your blog frequently to see that content. And then on step 2, which is posting it, really the key to this is just like doing the work and following through with the plan you made. So the way to make sure you accomplish what you've planned is obviously keeping yourself motivated somehow, which accountability is a really good way. Maybe you're just a planner and you're really good at like, if you set a goal for yourself, you're going to do it. But if you're not really good at that, then you probably need to find someone to help you stay accountable and push you to do what you planned. The other thing is to make a plan that is like broken down into steps. So if your plan is just too general, where it doesn't have any like actual steps that you're going to take, then you're not going to be able to follow through and stay consistent with that plan very well, because you don't know all the little things that need done in order to like accomplish it. Then I guess my last tip is probably like to aim to make it a habit. So if you think of like when you were first driving and you like didn't really know where the gas and the brake were, and you always had to like double check and think in your head, or maybe this is just me, but like, okay, brakes over here, gas is over here. And then eventually it just becomes a habit. Like when you need to slam on your brakes, you don't even have to think about like, okay, where did the brake go? Like, you know, because driving is such a habit to you because you've been doing it so much. So obviously we want to get there in our content, maybe not as extreme as the driving example, but you want your content to feel like second nature and feel like just a habit that you're doing, because then it's easier to get yourself to do it when you just make it a part of your schedule. I'm going to go all nerdy on you here because that's what I do, but studies have shown that willpower is like a limited resource. So when which basically means it's harder to like make yourself do something the more and more decisions you have to make. So like let's say you had a hard day, you had a lot of tough choices. Motivating yourself to have the willpower to do something at the end of that day is going to be a lot harder than if your day was like so easy, you just laid on the couch, like, you know, you probably want to get up and do something. So the idea is that habits are really important, because then you're not having to constantly push yourself and make yourself do stuff. It just becomes natural and it's way easier to do. So we're going to kind of good cop and bad cop you here, with me giving you all the nerdy tips, and then CJ's going to give you all probably the fun tip. She's at some gorgeous spot in San Francisco, so I'm going to turn it over to her. But before I do, if you've been doing the pitching challenge, hopefully all your pitches went out today, and I hope you just killed it, because there's templates and you were like so prepared and felt like it was easy. But if you ran into issues or struggled, make sure to just shoot us DMs, shoot us emails. We'd love to help you knock that out. So yeah, I'm going to turn it over to CJ. See you guys later.
guys. So I had to redo this video, and I'm just taking a video on my phone because the services when I did the live yesterday weren't that great, I guess. It was all blurry and I wasn't even able to save the video, although it was saving. So that's a part of traveling and being a blogger. You kind of have to figure out Wi-Fi everywhere you go, and there's obviously going to be issues no matter what. So just being able to kind of go with the flow is definitely one of my tips in here. So I'm just going to actually do a really quick recap of kind of what I talked about on the live yesterday, just to give you guys an insight on how I stay consistent as a travel blogger without totally ruining my travels. So as you can see, my hair is wet. This is the time that works best for me to do this, which is a big part of being flexible. Obviously, I could have done this probably from like a really cool location, but it would have cut into some of the things Kirby and I were doing to have fun. So I'm doing it from our hotel room just to give you guys that insight. So one of the ways that I stay consistent while I'm out of the office is obviously scheduling my posts, or at least knowing the content that I'm going to want to post in advance. It definitely helps because if you're gone for the weekend, like for instance, I had a post that I needed to go live yesterday, and so I had everything ready, and I obviously had that shot ready to go and ready to post last night, so I didn't really have to worry about staying, taking a new shot and posting it and keeping on track and everything. It was already content that I wanted to push out onto my blog and was ready to go. And then if you don't have some blog posts that you're going to post, I think just having shots that you've already had in the mix ready to go, just in case you aren't doing something cool, and or in case you don't want to take a shot in the middle of your vacation. That way you can still have something going out on your channels, and just staying consistent is what helps keep followers coming in and helps people stay engaged on your account, even though you're kind of all over the place. So that's definitely something I always try and do, is just have things ready. Definitely utilize your live feed and stories while being on vacation and traveling. I think that's the easiest way to engage with followers while you're out of the office, and the most fun. If you think about it, when you're on vacation, it's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to be doing things that you love to do, and new things that people are obviously going to want to see. Or if you think about what you would want to see if someone went on vacation, that's honestly the biggest way that I engage with people when I'm gone, and people love it because it's constantly on the go. It's exactly what I'm doing at that moment. It's real time, and it's not all perfect and curated, so it's real, and that's the way that people can connect to you. So utilizing the live feeds is definitely a big aspect as being a travel blogger, and an easy way to not have to constantly be shooting out content or to feel like you're not online and in the know of what everyone's doing. So another thing, like I had mentioned earlier, is just being flexible. I'm in my hotel room. I haven't even gotten out to go kind of do my day yet, but I wanted to get this live done. I wanted to show you guys that being on vacation doesn't mean I just unplug all the time. There's a time and a place for that, obviously. If it's like your honeymoon, obviously unplug maybe a little bit and just take some pictures and post them when you go. But really, I like to be engaged. I like what I do. I like my Haute society. I like my blog. And if running my own businesses means that I have to sit in my hotel room for 10 to 15 minutes to give some insight, I'm going to do it because this is a total dream job then. So just being flexible is definitely really, really important. What are some of the strategies for creating content while on vacation? So we are really trying to push like planning your blog around your vacay, not your vacay around your blog. There's a lot of people out there right now, bloggers specifically, that have kind of excuse my language, but shit on the blogging community, saying that it was all fake and saying that they didn't like doing it anymore because it ruined their vacations or ruined their times with their families. And that's super unfortunate. Obviously, I would never want, if that's the case for your blog, maybe you need to take a step back and see how you cannot do that. But really, I think, just don't overthink it. Just don't overthink it. Don't ruin your vacation to get a great shot. You should be on vacation, should be fun. So you should be able to have fun shots no matter what. And if you don't stress about it. Get on your live feed, show people what you're doing, post an image from a previous blog post, post something that went on sale, post something that means something to you, but don't don't put yourself in a spot where you're ruining your relationship with your husband or your family or whatever it is, and ruining your vacation time. So the ways I do that is, I've told you guys this before in live sessions and on podcasts, I like to look at a lot of photo inspo, and kind of get an idea. Like, I have a secret board on Pinterest that I just blog, or that I post a lot of images that give me some inspiration of something I might have not thought of doing. So for instance, before I came to San Francisco, I looked at a lot of like streetwear and posted a lot of different images from bloggers or just people on Pinterest that have done streetwear, so I can get an idea of different shots I can do, different ways I can sit against the wall, different ways I can sit on the steps. And I know that kind of sounds funny, but if you go look, honestly, I was blown away to see some of the different ideas of things that I never thought of doing, or the ways I never would have thought of posing, that make it a lot easier to do, and just, put your mindset in the right place. So looking at photo inspo is great, as well as looking at the place that you're going to. So like related to your blog. So like if you're a food blogger and you want to hit a lot of different restaurants, find those restaurants, figure out where they are, and figure out the ways they're set up, their aesthetic, all that type of things, because that can help you before you get to the restaurant or before you get to the food place, get an idea in your mind of a shot you might want. So then when you're there, you can just sit in the seat by the table and set your stuff up, take a quick shot, and then enjoy the rest of it with your friends or family or your husband. That's also, to touch on this, that's also an opportunity to set up in-kind collaborations, which is basically getting like gifted food or gifted a lunch or something like that you can then add into your blog. So I actually used that with San Francisco. I shot out a bunch of emails. I probably should have done it earlier than I did, but with the holidays, it's been a little crazy. Shot out a bunch of emails and actually got some responses back from people that I can now go to, get a free dessert or get a free drink or whatever it is, and then add that into my blog. And so then, one, I'm creating content to go out to my Instagram. I'm creating a story. Then when I'm there, I can create stories and already have something to put out to keep engaging with my followers on my live feeds. And then I'm also, bringing in something totally different and meeting a new brand and being able to get exposure through more social media finds that way. So really all in one there, and super easy, and keeps everything fun. It keeps you doing your business while you're on the go, but we would have wanted to eat that food anyway. That's why I found it, and that's why I reached out to them. So it just keeps things really cohesive with your blog, and like I said, really fun. Another thing is have specific looks in mind that you want to shoot, and make a point to schedule those out at a time that's most convenient in your vacation. So obviously right now this video is being shot at a time that's most convenient for my vacation. I didn't want to cut into anything. That's why I'm doing it from my room. But another example is when I was in Santorini over this summer, I knew I wanted to get shots in the town of Ia, and I knew what outfit I wanted to shoot in that town. So instead of making a point to drive, I think it was like a 15 to 20 minute drive around the island to get there from our hotel, I, spoke to my family ahead of time. Everyone obviously wanted to check out the town of Ia, so I made a point to have the entire family go to that town one day so we could all explore it. And then I wore the outfit I wanted to shoot, even though it was probably a little hot, but I still wore it. And then I just took shots throughout our entire excursion around that little town. So whenever we went to lunch, wherever we were walking, if we walked into a bookstore, whatever it is, I took so many shots and didn't stress about it. And then I had millions of shots to look through afterwards, and had an entire post that I was able to not only do on the town of Ia, but then I was also able to make a fashion post about maxi dresses off of it. So there's a lot of ways of doing that, and it did not whatsoever cut into my vacation time, because I was doing it with my family and just kind of kept going along the way. And it was actually really fun. I was able to take shots with my brothers, was able to take shots with my sisters, and then it also gave my family this crazy insight of what my life is like as a blogger. So it was actually a really, really fun day. So having looks specific in mind, and then where you want to shoot them, and just kind of getting that all planned out is a really easy way to keep everything fun and light and everything like that, and not having you stress about what to do. My last thing about all of this in staying, having strategies and maintaining consistency while you're traveling is to really be mindful. Don't force a shot. Like I said earlier, vacation is supposed to be fun. So it should look like it's fun through your shots, and it shouldn't look forced. It shouldn't look like you've set together anything. It should just be on vacation. That's what people want to see. as a social influencer, you're supposed to be pushing out a life that people want to plan. They want to plan a trip to San Francisco because they see what I'm doing. So just have fun with it. Be carefree. Don't overthink it. People like to see your lifestyle. So just keep that in mind. So to go over everything, scheduling posts out, or at least knowing the content you want to do the week or weekend, makes it easier to prep while you're ready. Utilize your live feed, definitely to engage with followers. Be flexible. Don't, push to get something done, because then it turns the vacation a not so fun vacation. Look at photo inspo or places that are related to what you want to blog beforehand to get your mind in the right mindset. Have specific looks in mind that you want to shoot in specific places to keep the schedule easy and in your vacation. And then be mindful. Have fun with it. Don't ruin your time with your family or your husband. Keep your business as much a part of your lifestyle without it totally ruining it. So I'm going to sign off now. This is about 11 minutes, which was perfect timing. And I hope you guys got an insight of how I stay consistent while I blog as I travel. Love you guys. Bye.